So the business, again, funerals are not for those of you who have an opinion. The people who are coming to pay their respects to Jesse Jackson ain't coming to your funeral. They're coming to his funeral because of the life that he lived, and because of the phone calls that he made, and because of the lives that he changed, and because of the people that he touched. And so when people say, I'm coming to speak or to be present and to pay my final respects to Jesse Jackson, we ask all to respect that, because that was the life that is Jesse Jackson. So we expect a grand meeting of people who are beneficiaries of the life and the work of Jesse Jackson. We expect it from the far right, and they are welcome if they come respectfully. And we expect it from the far left. Honor Mrs. Jesse Jackson. This is her request.
Political leaders mourning the death of civil rights icon Jesse Jackson. The Reverend Jesse Jackson was a longtime civil rights activist, Baptist minister, and two-time presidential candidate. He marched alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and was with King when he was assassinated. He founded and led the Rainbow Push Coalition to fight for social justice. Jesse Jackson was 84 years old. In a post on social media, President Trump said he met Reverend Jackson long before becoming president. He remembered Jackson as a good man with lots of personality, grit, and street smarts. President Trump also detailed the ways he said he helped Jackson over the years, including providing office space for the Rainbow Push Coalition and supporting civil rights initiatives Jackson pushed for. Joining us now is CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe. Ed, thank you for your time today. Could you tell us more about President Trump's relationship with Jackson?
Yeah, it's among the many he had in the political and business communities, but they collaborated most recently, most notably in the late 1990s, when Jackson had launched what was called Project Wall Street, or the Wall Street Project, which was designed to encourage the financial industry, especially to diversify its ranks among employees and to work on providing services to minority communities across the country. Jackson had worked for so many years on economic opportunity zones, investing in HBCUs, getting the business community to appreciate, understand, and invest in its minority customers and minority employees. So Trump, who owns 40 Wall Street, a pistachio-hued building there in the financial district, had provided office space and worked with him on some of those initiatives in the late 90s. Of course, thinks differently nowadays about how corporate America...
Jackie Jackson, who would love to have been with us today, but she will be back in Chicago in the not-too-distant future. I'm particularly proud of my siblings who, under these circumstances, have risen to the occasion of sharing with everyone exactly who our father is. Over the next week and a half or so, you will learn a lot more about the intimate nature and relationship that we all have with one of the most extraordinary human beings who's ever lived. With that said, I think the task of the business of going forward is in small measure going to fall largely on Yusef and in small measure on me. Dad believed that funerals were not for the dearly departed. He believed funerals were for the living. He believed that they were great gathering meetings. And no two lives in human history will have the same number of people attending their funerals, or the same people will be at their funerals, because your friends ain't my friends ain't your friends. We don't know the same people. You don't know the same people that I know. Do not bring your politics out of respect to Reverend Jesse Jackson and the life that he lived to these homegoing services. Come respectful and come to say thank you. But these homegoing services are welcome to all, Democrat, Republican, liberal, and conservative, right wing, left wing, because his life is broad enough to cover the full spectrum of what it means to be an American. We only ask people to come and be respectful in the context of the extraordinary life that he lived. Dad would have wanted us to have a great meeting to discuss our differences, to find ways of moving forward and moving together. And if his life becomes a turning point in our national political discourse, amen. Amen. And so, Dad's homegoing services, which are difficult for all of us to accept, are just that: a national and international gathering and meeting of people, and people, most importantly, from our community, who uplifted him and put him on a perch that allowed him to share a vision with the world and to share a vision with all people. And so the business, again, funerals are not for those of you who have an opinion. The people who are coming to pay their respects to Jesse Jackson ain't coming to your funeral. They're coming to his funeral because of the life that he lived, and because of the phone calls that he made, and because of the lives that he changed, and because of the people that he touched. And so when people say, I'm coming to speak or to be present and to pay my final respects to Jesse Jackson, we ask all to respect that, because that was the life that is Jesse Jackson. My brothers and sisters are due a level of congratulations for the caregiving that each of them have provided over the course of Dad's illness. Caregivers in the United States are an unrecognized commodity in the United States that are not covered by any health care program in this nation. Each of us in our own way have come to appreciate that the $550 billion to $625 billion a year that those of us who have to change our careers, change our lives because we simply don't want to turn our loved ones over to just anybody, is a factor in our nation's health care debate. And so I'm hoping that Congressman Jonathan Jackson will look at caregiving through his service in the Congress of the United States and find creative ways to do something about that. With that said, let me just conclude on this point.
Jonathan's over there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Look over there.
Yeah, any expansion of the Affordable Care Act will include vision, because I can't see the way I used to see. Jonathan's over here. Jeez. My apologies. I'm particularly proud of the work that they did, the labor that they put in. I was there at 12:30.